You ever feel that heaviness in your chest, like life itself is pressing down on you? Suffocating, whispering, "This is all there is." I've felt that, my friends. I've lived that. And let me tell you something. I'm 92 years old, and I've spent most of my life chasing everything but what mattered. I was a man of pleasure, a man of indulgence, a man who laughed at the whispers of God because I thought my world, my desires were enough. But now I see it all differently. And I want you to feel this truth deep in your bones, because when God is about to give you something big, He will shake you to your core first. I remember the first time I truly understood what that meant. I was in my early 20s, running in circles of wealth, women, and whiskey. My days were a blur of luxury hotels, expensive cigars, laughter that never reached my soul, and nights I cannot begin to describe. People called me lucky, but I knew the truth. I was empty. I was a hollow man dressed in silk and gold. I thought I was in control. I thought life owed me something, but life owes nothing, my friends. Then, one night, everything changed. I was sitting in my favorite bar, the music thumping, the neon lights painting my face in lies, when I felt it, an undeniable stillness in my heart. I didn't see it coming. I didn't ask for it. But there it was, a whisper. Not the whisper of another human, not the whisper of my own guilty conscience, but the voice, God. It said, "What are you waiting for?" I laughed. I laughed and told him, "You must be mistaken. I am living my best life." But deep down, my laughter was empty, hollow, like a cracked bell that no one can hear. That night I walked home through the pouring rain. My shoes were soaked, my clothes clung to me, and every step I took felt heavier than the last. I had nothing to show for my life except a string of broken promises to myself, to others, to God. And in that rain, I remember thinking, if this is all there is, then I've wasted it. That was the first time I felt the weight of God's preparation. It's not gentle, it's not a soft nudge, it's a violent, loving shaking that tears down everything you think you are, so He can show you who you are meant to be. Years passed, and the shaking only grew louder. I went through heartbreaks, betrayals, financial ruin, you name it. The world had no mercy on me, and neither did I on myself. I remember losing everything I thought I loved. My empire of indulgence crumbled. Friends disappeared. Women left. I was left with nothing but God and a body that ached with age and regret. And do you know what happened? That emptiness became fertile soil. God began to plant seeds. It was during a quiet morning, sitting on a rickety old porch overlooking the city I once conquered, that I finally understood. I felt a presence stronger than the whiskey I had abused, stronger than the women I had adored, stronger than the money I had worshipped. God was telling me, all that you've lost, all that you've endured, all that you've questioned, it's for this moment. You are about to receive what you cannot even imagine. And I wept like a child, not because I was weak, but because I finally understood that the man I had been, the man of indulgence, of arrogance, of selfish pleasure, was being prepared for something far greater than I could ever have dreamed. You see, God doesn't give the extraordinary to the ordinary. He doesn't hand down miracles to those who live comfortable, predictable lives. No, He tests you. He shakes you. He lets the storms tear your house apart so that when the blessing comes, you recognize it. You see it. You feel it. Because only those who have been broken open can carry the fullness of what He wants to give. Let me be honest with you. There were moments when I thought I would never survive. Nights when I sat alone, wondering if God had abandoned me completely. days when my body ached and my mind screamed that it was all too late. But it wasn't. It was never too late. And that, my friends, is the most shocking truth of all. God's timing is perfect, and He doesn't measure it by our calendar, our ambition, our impatience. He measures it by our hearts, by our readiness to receive, by our willingness to be transformed. I tell you this not from a place of preaching, but from a place of raw experience. I have seen the darkness of indulgence, the emptiness of pleasure, the despair of thinking life is over before it's even begun. And I have seen God's light break through that darkness. It's blinding, it's painful, it's extraordinary, and it changes everything. Now at 92, I stand here before you, not a perfect man, but a living testimony. I have been given blessings I never imagined, purpose, peace, and a joy that does not depend on the fleeting pleasures of this world. And I tell you this, if you are in the storm, if you are in the emptiness, if life feels like it's ripping you apart, do not despair. God is not done with you. The shaking, the trials, the heartbreaks, they are His way of preparing you for the miracle that is coming. I have seen men and women crumble under far less pressure than I endured. I have seen the young give up, thinking God is silent, thinking their suffering is in vain. But I tell you now, when God is about to give you something big, He will stretch you, twist you, strip you bare, and leave you vulnerable. And only then, when you are broken and open, will you receive the unimaginable. Do not be afraid to be shaken. Do not be afraid to lose what you think defines you. Do not be afraid to face the truths that hurt, the betrayals that scar, the nights when you think God is absent. He is not absent. He is moving. He is working. He is preparing you for a gift so extraordinary, so beyond your comprehension, that your soul will finally understand why every moment of pain, every night of loneliness, every misstep, and every indulgence had to happen exactly as it did. I want you to remember one thing before you leave this place. Your storms are not punishments. Your trials are not curses. They are preparation. They are the hammer striking the metal, the fire melting the dross, the shaking of the earth before the treasure is revealed. And when God finally gives it to you, when the blessing arrives, it will be more glorious than anything you could have imagined, because He prepared your heart to receive it fully. I am 92 years old. I have outlived my wife, of indulgence, ruin, heartbreak, and loss. And yet here I stand, humbled and overflowing with a joy I never knew existed. If God can transform a man like me, He can transform anyone. And I promise you this, if you hold on, if you trust, if you remain faithful, even in the silence, you will witness the extraordinary. You will feel it. You will live it. And when it comes, you will finally understand what it truly means when God is about to give you something big. So hold on, dear friends. The night may be dark. The winds may howl. The world may try to convince you that all is lost. But do not forget the Creator of the universe, the one who holds time and eternity in His hands, is preparing you. He is working behind the scenes, and the moment you least expect, when your heart is ready, when your soul is prepared, the blessing will arrive, and it will change everything. Believe me, I am living proof.